Hey, it's Jordan. Delighted to be joined by Michelle, an Arizona mother. And Arizona, obviously, right now is one of the hot zones of the coronavirus pandemic. In addition to the health problems, like everywhere else, you have the economic cliff coming in less than 2 weeks now. So I came across you online. You were working in the service industry before all this happened. Can you kind of tell your story in terms of what were you doing before? What kind of expenses are you facing? And have you been successful, trying to find work after getting furloughed?
Yeah, so I was working in the Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport for a little over 5.5 years, full time, um, great money, and then in March 15th was my last day that I worked, and I've been furloughed since then. As far as expenses go, my bills are at least $2,300 a month just for my bills. People have told me, you should just cut out whatever you don't need, and I've explained to them like that is cutting out everything I don't need, and that doesn't even include groceries or like maintenance on my vehicle, gas, anything for my daughter. Um, so it's been a struggle. The extra $600 a week has been the only reason that I've been able to stay in my townhouse and not, you know, just lose my home. So yeah, I mean, I have tried finding jobs elsewhere, but right now, the way everything is, it's just those of us in the service industry are usually pretty adaptable. We can pivot quickly, but right now, there's nothing for us to do. All these restaurants have to go down to like 50% capacity. So they're running on smaller crews anyway, and they're trying to take care of their established employees, which I totally get that. I have tried to go outside of my industry, and it's always just the very generic. Thank you for your interest. We've decided not to move forward with your application. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what's going to happen at the end of this month.
And Arizona pays out, before the $600 expansion, Arizona pays out one of the smallest amount of unemployment. Is that correct?
Correct. It's 240 per week, but after taxes, it comes out to 216 a week. And we're like the third lowest in the country.
So that would be like $850 a month, basically.
Like give or take. Yeah, it's if I were to just save up all of that, it wouldn't even cover my rent. So, yeah, it's kind of like it doesn't make sense. Like nobody can survive off of that.
And what is, I mean, obviously the governor, in my view, has mishandled the pandemic there. But what has the governor's response been as far as if the federal government doesn't get its act together, how are unemployed people supposed to live off $850?
His response has been lackluster at best. I watched his press conference last week, and reporters were pressing him, saying, "Hey, people are being evicted right now," and he just kind of glossed over it and said, if people are receiving the money with the extra $600, they should be able to pay their rent, and but there are thousands of people in Arizona who still haven't received any unemployment because of how broken our system is. Before the pandemic, there were 13 employees at the unemployment office here, and they had to expand by, I believe, they had to hire over 200 more people. But every week, it seems like there's something different going on. Like still haven't received my payment for this week. Um, some of my coworkers are also facing the same issue, and it's like we don't have time for them to not be giving us our money. And so, yeah, Governor Ducey's response has just been really a non-response. He's trying to say that people are being taken care of with our. There's a program that launched for rental assistance, which a lot of people have applied for, and not very many people have even received funds for. I was denied, and I'm pretty sure it's because I had some money in my savings account. So you basically have to be on the brink of eviction to receive any assistance like that.
And also, I don't know how old your daughter is, but I mean, aren't you in a position now that like if you got something, if they don't expand the unemployment, isn't it kind of that pressure? Like, hey, I got to go out. I mean, even though it's a hot zone, I got to make some money. And what about the fear of possibly, bringing something back to your kid?
Yeah, it's it's the worst situation to be put in. I feel like I'm being forced into a situation where I either have to choose to lose my home or to potentially lose my health or, get my daughter sick. And she's just a little kid. She's about to be 4, and that's not a situation I would ever want to put my child in, but she's just kind of stuck with whatever I have to do. And it just feels like such a slap in the face after being, able to take care of myself and my family for my entire working career, and now we're just being left in the dust. Like nobody is looking out for us, and we're just getting hit so hard with everything all at once.
Hey, can you kind of take people inside what's going on there now? Phoenix has been hit particularly hard, but why do you think Arizona has been such a mess? Has it been because there was too much of a priority on the economy before health? Why has Arizona seen such a increase?
I think that we just don't have good leadership here. Our governor, there's pictures flying around right now of him not socially distancing, without a mask, at a graduation party for a local high school. And it's a very weak request of the citizens here. There has been no, you must stay home, you must stay inside, like the mask order. He left it up to the city officials to mandate it. He just isn't taking a very strong stance, and it's obvious. Everybody is starting to feel the effects. I have so many friends who are testing positive now. I have family members who are testing positive. So it's becoming a very real, very scary situation. And it just would have really helped our state if he would have taken a quicker, more strict approach, I think, like some of the other states have.
Just what does it say to you that, like, you look at European countries? Italy had a massive outbreak in the beginning of this. They just locked down the country for a few weeks. Now the case count is manageable. Other countries, European countries, the government's just like covering payroll, focusing on getting rid of the virus. What do you attribute just this, it's kind of like just a hamster wheel. Like it just keeps going and going. And there's just basically now the president acting like, it's just a flare up, no worries. And frankly, the Democratic Party, they went along with the first bill, which was a bank robbery that gave trillions to corporations.
Oh yeah, it's really scary. I feel kind of horrified at how entitled this country kind of seems. Everyone's talking about, oh, my freedoms, but it's not necessarily about your freedom being taken away. It's just asking people to wear something over their face and not be unnecessarily exposing people to this. And it's I definitely feel like the government has shown its true colors over and over again throughout all of this. We are not a priority. We are not taken seriously as the people who are out here protesting in the middle of like July summer and in Arizona. We're just fighting for our lives, and it's hard to have to fight so hard for like basic dignity and for just like basic decency from our elected officials.
And basically, what would someone like you do if they don't extend this $600? Maybe they'll knock it down to like 200, 300 expansion. Would that be enough to cover your costs on top of Arizona's feeble unemployment? Do you have a fallback plan like family? I'm just trying to see what would somebody in your position do.
Worst case scenario is that I'll have to ask my landlord if I can break my lease and try and move in with a friend or a family member. which is not easy to do with a child. Yeah, even if they were to bump it up a little bit, it wouldn't cover my bills. And it's just an unrealistic thing to expect people to, because like I work in the airport, you know, and that is a major hotspot. Like some of my coworkers who are currently in the airport, like I've heard of people already getting COVID-19 from going back to work, and it's crazy. It's gonna just explode even worse if they don't get a handle on all of this.
Well, thank you for taking the time. I definitely want to get, real people's stories out there. So we will keep in touch, and stay safe in Arizona.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.